All right, let's get straight to it. All right, so Deuteronomy 4:19-20 KJV. Unless thou lift up thine eyes into heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, should have be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. But the Lord hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. All right. So, setting the record straight, according to Deuteronomy, straight from the Most High mouth to the prophet Moses, we are not to worship constellations and stuff, right? That is known as astrology. And as you see, the Most High said he gave that stuff to the other nations. But with Israel, his chosen people, we're supposed to just follow him. We're his inheritance, right? So now with this video, since this is talking about the New Testament being astrology, you will understand the points. You will understand the importance. You'll understand why they added it into the book and why they're trying to deter you from actually seeking out the Most High God. The purpose is to get you into idolatry and astrology. All right. Got to be very careful. Matthew 2:1-2 KJV. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east of Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. All right. You know what? Speaking of this, I'm going to do a video later about Isaiah 53, because with this New Testament, man, Jesus was very popular, right? But anyway, as you see, these wise men said they saw the star in the east. All right. They was doing astrology. They saw the star and they came to worship baby Jesus. Oh, it seemed innocent, right? Nah. Check this out. So Orion's belt is known as the three kings. All right. When they say they saw the star in the east, they're talking about the Sirius star. And on December 24th, every year, sometimes December 25th, all three of the stars in Orion's belt lines up with the Sirius star and points to the sun for the winter solstice. All right. Check it out. The three kings, the stars of Orion belt, align with the Sirius star, the brightest star in the sky. And they make a vertical line for the winter solstice. So when they're telling you they saw the star in the east and you hear about the wise men or the three wise men, that is astrology. All right. They represent the three stars on Orion's belt. And they're coming to the mother. All right. Which is Mary. That's Sirius star for the goddess Ceres. And they're pointing to the birth of the son, who is Jesus. All right. That's why you will find pictures with him with the sun always behind his head, or a flaming heart. All right. Got to understand this stuff. So the flaming heart that you usually see with the Catholics with Jesus is because, according to Egyptian mythology, you got to understand the heart is at the center of the body, the center of the spirit, right? So they interpret that as that's the sun of the body. So that's why you see Christ with the flaming heart or the glowing heart, or the actual sun behind his head. But both images are the same. It's for the sun. It's for illumination. He is literally the sun. All right. Because he's a sun God. Here we go right here. Matthew 14:16-19. Check this out. But Jesus said unto them, they need not depart, give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, we have here 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He said, bring them hither to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake and gave loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. All right. So we're familiar with this story about how Jesus took 2 fish and some loaf of bread and fed 5,000 people, right? I really got to do that Isaiah 53 video, because they say that's talking about Jesus. He's supposed to be despised. Why he always have multitudes of people? Anyway, Jesus also represents Pisces. All right. That was the purpose of the 2 fish. When you look at the symbol for Pisces, you're going to see what? The 2 fish. All right. And as you see right now in astrology, the age of Pisces is begun around 1 CE, directly coinciding with the traditional birth of Jesus. Why do you think the Christians have the Jesus fish symbol? Wake up, people. Got to study this stuff. It is all astrology. He represents the age of Pisces. All right. And what they try to say is, when Moses was up on Mount Sinai speaking with the Most High, and the Israelites had made the golden calf, they was like, oh, that was the age of Taurus. No. That was just them worshiping Baal or Baal, who was represented by a bull. Or remember, they just left out of Egypt, so AP's the bull god, but it still ties to Baal. So long story short, back to what I was saying. In the New Testament, Jesus represents the age of Pisces also. And you have Mary represents the constellation of Virgo. All right. All 12 of the disciples represent the 12 zodiacs. Okay. But Jesus is a double. He represents Pisces, and he represents the actual sun itself, because he's a sun god. And with Mary being Virgo, the symbol for Virgo basically like an M, and it has the fish symbol on the end of it. All right. This goes back thousands of years ago. All the pagans was doing this. That's why you'll see these depictions of the mother and the child all the time. That is an ancient depiction that goes all the way back to Mesopotamia. Every culture, you're going to see a version of the Black Madonna or Mary Isis and the suckling child. Isis, Horus, Mary, Jesus, etc., etc., etc. You get what I'm saying? This is all astrology. Mother goddess worship, sun god worship. They're very subtle with how they insert it into the New Testament. But if you don't watch for the signs, you wouldn't understand. That's why we have 4 gospels, because each one of those represents the 4 seasons of the year. All right. The 12 disciples represents the 12 zodiacs. The 4 gospels represent the 4 seasons, and all of them write about the sun. Who is who? Jesus. He's the winter solstice. He's the sun that goes down during the period of December 24th, December 25th, and then he comes back during springtime. All right. So this is a depiction of Isis. And as you see, what? She has the sun on top of her crown. Isis. Horus is her son. He represents the sun god. It's a lot of stuff that they do with this. You know, it's movies that they put this stuff in. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Sinners. But at the end of the movie Sinners, I want to say it was smoke when he was in that shootout. His woman came back as a ghost pretty much, and she had the baby sucking on the breast. They put it in the movies. Just like you see right here, that's what they had in the movie Sinners. I'm going to start doing movie breakdowns because a lot of these movies, they put a lot of biblical undertones in them. But if you don't understand this stuff, you're just watching it for entertainment purposes instead of understanding what's going on. So I have a picture here of Aquarius. And what do you see? It is a man with a vase of water. All right. The water bearer. That's the symbol for Aquarius. Now you may ask, why do you have Aquarius here? Give me 1 second and I'll elaborate. All right. So Luke 22:7-11. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he sent Peter and John, saying, Go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat. And they said unto him, Where wilt thou that we prepare? And he said unto them, Behold, when ye enter into the city, there shall be a man meet you, bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he enter in, and you shall say unto the good man of the house, the master say unto thee, Where is the guest chamber, where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? All right. So Jesus sent them to Aquarius. All right. Pay attention. He was the age of Pisces, and during the end, it's passing over to the age of Aquarius. That's why they made sure to put there, you'll see a man holding a pitcher of water. It's all throughout the New Testament. That's why I say it's a book full of astrology, idolatry, and witchcraft. All right. More videos coming. Stay tuned.